Hi, who's looking to add more whole, fresh foods to their menus? Who is looking to use up all the garden produce? Who's looking to use up things that you're picking up at the farmer's market? Who's looking for new ways to do recipes? So I've got a great little trick for you today using Pampered Chef's cooking blender. And a lot of you are wondering, why do I even care about that cooking blender? Okay, so let me give you a couple of reasons. One, it's a cooking blender. So it's not a blender, it's a cooking blender. There's actually a heating element built into this. So 2 years ago when Pampered Chef brought this out, we were the very first company in the United States to bring this to the United States over from Europe. And it went, oh my gosh, it went crazy. So there are so many different things you can do with this. There's a lot of other competitors out in the market there, and they talk about how you can, cook your food, but they don't have a heating element. They just heat through friction, so really all you're doing is warming your food, so you actually have to cook the foods on the stovetop and then move them into here to actually do them. You know what, with this, we just do it all. You can make baby food, you can make soups, you can make sauces, you can make gravies, you can make just about anything. So you get a cookbooklet, and I give you an entire huge booklet of different recipes. It's a Google Doc. But everything from your very, very basic, smoothies and shakes, the things that you're gonna do with a regular blender, cashew bowls, smoothie bowls, things like that. Alternative milks, whether it's almond milk, cashew milk, coconut milk, whatever, rice milk, horchata, but grinding settings, oh my gosh, almond butter. Okay, almond butter doesn't sound that exciting until I tell you dark chocolate almond butter. Yum, eat it with a spoon. Make your own peanut butter. So for those of you who are looking for whole foods, you're looking for things that are just going to make sure your family's not eating anything weird, or if you're dealing with allergies. In my family, in my household, we have a ton of allergies and food intolerances. So I'm doing probably more from scratch than some people, but it just works for us. So, and of course, you know what? When you have tools like this, you can totally do it. Hummus, soup. Okay, so let's talk about soup today. Garden fresh soup. There's an entire page here. Beet soup, cauliflower soup, mushroom bisque, cheesy potato, sweet potato soup, tomato basil soup. Now you can use canned, vegetables for this kind of thing. You can use fresh, you can use frozen, whatever you want to do. So it's really seasonal. So for me, we're actually going to do a tomato basil soup today, which is going to blow your mind. So how many of you don't like tomato soup? You're going to like this one. Because I've never really been a fan of tomato soup, and then I had this, and it was so fresh and so bursting with flavor that I became addicted to it. And what I really like is that I can actually freeze individual portions of it and just pull them out whenever I want them. So it's really nice either for lunches when you go into an office, wherever you happen to work, or you're home, whatever, or on a weekend, doesn't matter. And if you're feeding 2 people or 3 people or whatever, you know what, you can just pull out whatever you need. So let's talk about what I'm doing here. We have our cooking blender. I'm going to pop off the lid. I think it's about 34 ounces of tomatoes. So I used my awesome Pampered Chef scale to weigh them and have my stainless steel colander. Now we actually have, it's a set of 3 stainless steel colanders. It's a really, really fine mesh, and you do get 3 of them. This is the large, this is the medium, or excuse me, the baby, the medium is upstairs. But I had them filled with tomatoes from my garden, and started chopping some of them up. The only reason you need to chunk these up, to be very honest, is because otherwise they won't fit in the blender because you're putting so much in here. So this is just from our really basic line of knives. I am an addict of our Forge cutlery, but this is from our basic line of knives, and I do like it because it really does cut through anything. And then this is our glass bowl. It's actually part of a set of 3, and this is the baby one, and then we have a medium and a large. And I love that you can see all the color of the food when you're dealing with that. All right, so we're going to take this. We're actually just going to pour these into here. And I think you can tell, I mean, we're really filling this up. And if I didn't have them cut up, it wouldn't have worked. And now I have a onion quartered, and once again, I'm only cutting it up because otherwise it won't fit. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of water. You can even make this broth, like a vegetable broth or something like that. Whatever you want to do, whatever you have. We want 2 cloves of garlic. So I don't have fresh garlic right now. I usually do, but this is, whoops, not wrong one. But this is my backup. So Pampered Chef actually sells a minced garlic, and I use this as my backup for when I'm out of fresh. And I happen to know roughly, if I fill up the cap, how much 2 teaspoons is. Each teaspoon is a clove of garlic. So we'll set that aside. So I've got the water, I've got the tomatoes. Salt. Oh my gosh, our sea and Himalayan salt. And this is the pink salt. Have you ever seen pink salt? That's Himalayan salt. And it actually has an extra boost of flavor to it. So we're just going to use that with Pampered Chef's grinder set. And isn't this gorgeous? I love how it looks. Beautiful, beautiful. On my, countertop day to day. But you know what's even better? This is gorgeous when I am setting a Thanksgiving table, a Christmas table, any kind of nice holiday, Easter, and birthday party celebrations, whatever. It just looks really, really nice. Tomatoes, onion, garlic. Yeah, that's it. So this is how much effort goes into this. And think about it, you know exactly what's in there, right? And I have turned already the dial to soup. And this is how much effort it is. I press start. So now you're going to notice that it's going to spin and stop, spin and stop, spin and stop. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And the reason that's doing that is because it's heating it, and we don't want it to burn on the bottom. So it's mimicking the stirring that you do on the stovetop. So it's going to spin, stop, spin, stop, spin, stop. And all the little tomato seeds in here are all going to disappear. They're going to be pulverized. Everything's going to be pulverized. It's going to be this beautiful, smooth, rich tomato when it's done. So in about a half an hour, it's going to beep at me, and it's going to tell me that it's done, or not done, but it's time to add. So at that point in time, I'm going to put in about 2 teaspoons of sugar. Now, that might sound a little weird, but sugar is a common ingredient with anything that has tomato in it because it cuts the acid. When you add the sugar and you add an acid together, the sugar calms down the acid, giving you less chance for heartburn, and it'll just actually make it taste smoother. It'll make it taste a lot better. And we're also going to add about a tablespoon of Pampered Chef's sweet basil. Tons and tons of flavor. You can also add fresh. If you have fresh basil, go right ahead. But this is just a really simple, easy way because I don't always have fresh. So that is our homemade tomato soup. I will add a picture of what it looks like when it's done. But you can freeze these into individual portions. You can serve it right away. You can have it in the fridge for a couple of days, whatever works for you. But it's all straight whole food, whatever you actually want this soup to be. That's what it's going to be. So anyway, if you have any questions, post below. Go ahead and maybe bake a loaf of our Italian herb bread to go along with it. It will taste fabulous. You could even actually make like a mozzarella tomato grilled cheese with the Italian bread. Oh my gosh, it's so soft and warm and filled with all those Italian herbs. Yum. Anyway, but if you have any questions about that, please let me know. But other than that, I hope this was simple, easy with Amy. Thanks.